And for Off the Block, I'm Vinny Lopes, and we are now joined by the voice of Hawaii volleyball, Tiff Wells, as he is in Irvine, ready for the MPSF Tournament semifinals, as Hawaii is going to take on Pepperdine. And Chris, you made the long flight all the way from Hawaii to the mainland for this match. What are you expecting tomorrow night or tonight as Hawaii takes on Pepperdine?
Oh, thanks for having me, Vinny. You're expecting an offensive-minded match. Two teams that hit above 300 on the season. You're also expecting a match that's going to have a lot of defense. Both teams are in the top 4 or 5 in the MPSF in blocks per set. Hawaii also has one of the better liberos in the conference and in the country in Kobe Kanetake. So you look at all the stats, offense, defense, and it should be a match that might come down to 1 or 2 or 3 plays per set that decides the outcome of each set and ultimately the match.
Yeah. And historically, Hawaii has been a team that struggled on the road. Their all-time postseason record on the road or in neutral sites is something like 9-25. But this year, you kind of throw out that series at Provo. They have been really good on the road. From your standpoint, have you noticed any difference with this team and why they're playing a lot better on the road this season?
Yeah, you talked about the road season for them, 9-3 on the season. Yeah, you throw out those 2 losses in Provo, which outside of UC Irvine, no one's been able to win in Provo in the last couple of seasons. So that is a very tough place to play. But for Hawaii, 9-3 on the road this season. This is actually their first neutral site match here in 2015. It's been a team that it has taken a couple of years to develop under 6th-year head coach Charlie Wade. A lot of guys that are juniors, seniors, redshirt seniors that they've been around the MPSF for 3+ seasons, and it's a team that finally has put it all together. The experienced guys are in leadership roles. They've been in the starting lineup for the last couple of seasons, and everything's just kind of fallen into place as to how this team has gone from preseason number 7 in the MPSF to finishing 1 match shy of tying UC Irvine in the MPSF regular season standings.
Right. Now, looking at that match against Pepperdine, these two teams met in the regular season. Hawaii won both of those matchups. For you, what were the things that stood out for you when you watched them courtside?
Well, for both those matches for Hawaii, it was a good sign that both of them were in Honolulu. They were able to feed off the very large crowd on both Friday and Sunday. Inside the San Sheriff Center, you had about 3,600 for Friday. And then for that Sunday match, it was about 3,400. So you had a very large crowd. And historically, with these two teams, it's been a series where the home team has really dominated. I think it's like the last 11 or 12 matches, the home team has won in this series, whether it's just because, just the venue, they're comfortable, what have you. But traditionally in this series, it's been the home team that had the matchup, had the better, not so much the better matchup per se, but they've been able to utilize home court to their full advantage. But for those 2 matches, Hawaii was able to feed off the crowd, won, and Pepperdine in the first match that went 4 sets, it took a while for them to get in the flow offensively. We just talked about how offensive-minded this team is. They hit about 330 or so. Both matches Pepperdine had in Honolulu in March, they hit below 280. So Hawaii was able to serve tough enough to get Pepperdine out of the system, and then their blocking and defense able to slow down this very potent Waves offense.
Yeah. Now, when the match gets underway on Thursday, what's going to probably be the one thing, let's say, maybe that fans are going to want to keep an eye on the first 15 plays where they'll be able, if this is happening, that Hawaii's doing good and that they're clicking?
Their defense. With Kobe Kanetake, also Kupono Faye and Tiki Zarkovic, 2 outside hitters for Hawaii that are going to go all 6 rotations. It's going to be their floor defense. They will frustrate a lot of teams offensively. And last week, for those that watched the match with Long Beach State, their offense was really frustrated with Hawaii's defense. They, of course, their blocking, but also their defense. We just talked about Kobe Kanetake. He had 18 bigs in a men's match, in a 3-set men's match, which is very rare. So for Hawaii, of course for Hawaii, to get off to a strong start, you can't afford what they did against Long Beach State on Saturday when they were down 13-5 in set 2, and then in the third set they were down 24-20. So for the Rainbow Warriors, the key is defense, but it's also going to be to get off to a strong start.
Yeah, and talking about defense, Taylor Averill has been an absolute beast at the net this entire season with some big blocks and then huge kills coming from the back line. Do you feel that he should be the National Player of the Year? Do you think that he's getting enough buzz for that award?
You know, when the awards came out in the MPSF last week, there was a lot of talk when they saw Zach Alcantara from East Irvine get the regular season Conference Player of the Year award, and you know there was a lot of discussion about, you know, Taylor Averill, maybe there would be a share of the title with that award. Lacavera getting it first, Averill placing second. Still trying to figure out, and I don't know if you've seen it as well, but the number of votes that separated first and second. But it was, you know, it's an award that, yes, it comes with a lot of, you know, prestige and what have you, but at the end of the day, Taylor Averill, you know, he'll take that first team all conference, and for National Player of the Year, he's certainly in the discussion along with Zach Alcantara. He's been throwing him like a Christensen, and even an Aaron Russell from Penn State, and of course with Loyola Chicago with their outside with Yeshi. You've got 4 or 5 guys that are going to get a lot of votes for Player of the Year. And Taylor Averill, of course, in the conversation.
Yeah, and I have to agree with you. This is almost a weird year because there's so many people that are still in the running, and there's probably 6 or 7 guys where if they win it, you know, you're okay, that's good to go. You know, that makes sense. Where in previous years, it seems like this time of year, it's, you know, 1 person or 2 people, and that's it. So it's going to be, I agree with you, it's going to be very interesting. Want to get your thoughts on 2 more things before we let you go here, Chris. But looking at kind of the bracketology, the at-large scenario, if Hawaii were to falter, they're potentially in good position for an at-large. How is the team feeling going into the tournament, or this part of the tournament, knowing that they have a chance to get an at-large bid if they were to lose?
Well, it's a team that with the week of the Long Beach match last week, they have kind of taken the mantra of 6 appeal, meaning, like you talked about, that at-large possibility. It would take Hawaii 6 matches to bring back the national championship and the trophy to Honolulu. So it's a team that they don't care if they get the bye. They don't care if it's an at-large bid. They're hungry and they want to play for the state. There's been so much support over the last few weeks with the fans in Honolulu and just the state of Hawaii in general. Even fans that are here on the continent, and for the 5 or 6 players that are internationals, their family and friends around the world. There's been so much support. There's been so much love for this program that has been reaching heights that, for the first time since about 2006 or so, it's been a while where Hawaii's playing into the last week of April and possibly into the early portion of May.
Yeah. Yeah, and final question, just to go off that, you know, how much has, you know, really just the state of Hawaii been waiting for a year like this with the men's volleyball team? Because it feels like we see it every fall with the women's team, but, you know, it's been a while, as you said, with the men's team.
It's such a different type of culture. It's such a different type of atmosphere just because we are so isolated out on the islands. There is no professional sport, and the University of Hawaii, whatever sport it is the top attraction in town. You take a look at the local newspaper. Their any sport is all across the tabloids, 5, 6, and 10 p.m. newscasts. UH is one of the top stories. It's been a talking point on radio the last few weeks as well, with Rainbow Warrior, with the men's team for volleyball, and of course the success that UH has had with men's basketball and women's basketball in the Big West Conference. It's something different that if you haven't had a chance to make the trek out to Honolulu, even as a neutral fan, even if you're not a fan of a team that's coming out to Hawaii to play a UH in any sport, it's something we're talking about it beforehand, that it's a little bit different to explain, but it's something quite special that this team has. They're playing not just for the school, but they're playing for an entire state, and when you have something like that behind you, it's really something special. And when to kind of wrap it up, when they finished their match against Long Beach State on Saturday, and that comeback where they're down 20-24 and they win it in extra time, 27-25. They were able. Of course, they had the celebration, go through the handshake line. As soon as they came back to their side and circled up, they had a long discussion with themselves, and then they basically turned to the crowd, and no one wanted to leave. It was that type of match where the fans, they had kind of willed this team in that third set, and the team felt the support. They felt it even an hour and a half before the match started when the doors were open, and they could feel the energy and the enthusiasm of the fans getting ready for what could be in that type of match. And as soon as it ended, the players going around the lower bowl of the arena, around courtside, getting laid, taking pictures, signing autographs, just talking story with the fans. And it's been kind of their adopted team, and it's I don't know, I'm rambling on and on about it, but it's just Vinny, it's just something special that if you haven't had a chance to see, I highly encourage you to somehow make a trek out to